All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Workforce Wednesday, and happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody as well. My name is Bree, and I'm from the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce. Today, I am so lucky and happy to be here with Clarence from Net Credit Union. Clarence, how are you doing today?
It's always a great day here at Net Credit Union. I'm doing awesome. How are you doing today, Bree?
Oh, I'm doing so well. Thanks for asking. So I just tell us a little bit about Net Credit Union. You've been here in the area. Your building's right across from our building, friendly neighbors. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Sure. Net Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial institution. It's a cooperative where we allow members to do their banking. We've been here for we've been here for almost 80 years. This November is our 80th anniversary of Net Credit Union being in Scranton. We partner with businesses, associations, and groups to allow their employees or their members of their association have access to the credit union. We advertise it as like a free benefit for the business, so that when a business offers their incentive plans to their employees, they can say, you get a 401k, you'll get retirement, and when you work here, you can join our credit union, Net Credit Union. We have about 550 businesses or organizations like church groups, PTAs, Boy Scout groups, youth, athletic programs, you name it. There's so many different associations that we have in businesses that we extend the opportunity for them to offer credit union membership to the people who join that. It's a place where people do their banking. We don't say, come here and do your credit unioning. You come here to do your banking. We have, a full suite of consumer products from first mortgages, second mortgages, car loans, motorcycle loans, boat loans, RVs, credit cards, you name it. We got the full product. And of course, we got checking and savings and money markets and all that. We've been consistently growing in the area since, really since 2013 is when we really saw some great growth come into the credit union. And, we're ranked well above our peers in the area and across the country. So feel very fortunate to work here for Net Credit Union.
Fantastic. So I know that Net is very involved in the community in terms of volunteering and giving back. So tell us a little bit more about that and how that ties into your company culture.
Wow. Yeah. Especially over last year, we definitely handed out, doled out a lot of donations to community groups. And I can't list them all because usually every month we have a philanthropy committee that gets together and fields the donation requests from things like the Oliphant Host Company #4 Trunk or Treat to, helping Friends of the Poor with food donations and everything in between. United Way, Ronald McDonald House, American Red Cross. So we have a group of employees who live in the community, who look at the items and decide, where we divide the money that we set aside for donations to go to. Why do we do it? Well, first of all, it's the right thing to do. All right. There are a lot of organizations out there that cannot survive without donors providing them with the funds that they need to operate. And there's so many worthwhile organizations, whether it's from the American Heart Association to, groups that come up like Miracles for Matthew, a young man who's fighting cancer, will help sponsor a 4K or, some kind of run. And it's a great feeling. I love it too, because some of these events I can get Prospector from Rock 107 to come over and do the MC work. So, and he loves doing that as well. We do it all year round, not just around the holidays when there becomes a focus on donations, but all year round helps us, take care of those people who actually utilize our services, and it helps us further or deepen our relationship of becoming part of the community. So it's rewarding, it's fun to do, and we also do volunteer work, whether it's cleanup work or volunteering at food kitchens or the pantry. And our employees love it because if they're doing it on their work day, we'll pay them for doing it, of course, like go to the soup kitchen and serve, and, we'll count it as a work day because, again, it's just a worthwhile venture to do. And it is the right thing to do.
Wow, that is such a unique opportunity to be able to know that if I'm an employee of Net Credit Union, the company that I work for is going to support me in giving back to the community in the ways that are important to me.
Yeah, life is a circle, right? If you put out positive energy comes back to you. I fully believe that. I know I've lived that in my life, and sometimes the rewards of doing that aren't instant. It's not instant gratification. Sometimes they take some time, but you'll get stories of like, hey, that $50 that you gave to organization really helped us, buy, 10 books for, underprivileged children, or the Eagle Scout who comes in and says, look, I need $500 to create a nice bench for veterans at a local um, cemetery. He comes back a couple years later, graduated from college, and it's like, you know what, that really helped change my life. Here's what I've done. I've gone on to do this and this, and so many people like it. And those are the stories that are neat. I used to coach kids, and now I see them returning as adults with the good energy I put out there. And they're like, hey, Mr. Bolter. They're always like so much bigger than me now. Like, hey, Mr. Bolter, I'm glad you were harder on me when I did that. It's just like, it might have taken 12 years to see the result of that, but it's just fun to see what comes back after that.
Absolutely. And a little bit in the beginning of our conversation, you mentioned that the credit union has had a lot of growth recently. So I can only imagine that that growth has led you to expand the employment opportunities at the credit union. So what types of positions are you currently hiring for right now?
What we're currently hiring for right now is what we're calling a member expert. Now, this is a new position that we're creating because as we continue to evolve the credit union into more of a member-centric focus, and we call our patrons, if you will, members, because they have a stake in the credit union. They're not customers, they're not clients, they're members who are treated like family. But with the advancements of our technology, we went through a lot of technological upgrades over the last year. We're creating a position now where if somebody comes into the credit union or calls into the credit union, this might sound simple, but I don't have to transfer that person to the specialist that needs to take care of their issue. I want it to be a one-stop shop for a member to call in and have their questions answered, or their loans filled out, or signing up for an IRA, or if they have to become a power of attorney, for example, or set up a trust account. I want them to be one stop for everything. And to do that, we've harnessed, the right technology to put that information at people's fingertips. So that's one portion of that job that we're assembling. The second qualification is we want people to understand, lending, and we want them to have, if you will, kind of like I'm going to call it a salesperson approach, where they're not afraid to talk to people, that they're welcoming, that they're willing to start a dialogue, that they're willing to listen and not talk as much. And that's a big key. And I'm looking for people who are energetic. I'm looking for the people who are going to be assertive, who want an opportunity to grow. I'm looking for people who, are decent on the telephone as they are in person. And I want people who, want to work for an organization that's kind of fun. I kind of like Jim Belushi when it comes down to John Belushi, but also want to execute the mission that the credit union has, which is people helping people. When I got into this industry 15 years ago, and I learned that like one of our main courses is to help people, our main priority is to help people, I was hooked. I was instantly hooked because it's fun to do that. But and I'm looking for people who are smart. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm looking for highly motivated, highly energetic people who want an opportunity and want to grow with it, because we are a growing institution. And it's with financial institutions in today's environment, to have somebody come in and say, like, look, I'm expanding. I'm not closing branches. I'm not shutting down services. I'm growing, and I'm looking for people who want to grow with us.
Awesome. I'm sure that highly motivated, want to have fun, but is very dedicated and serious about their work and what they do, and being an expert about what their roles and responsibilities are, is a great blend. Because just knowing you for a little bit of time since I've been at the chamber, I know you're a lot of fun. So can you tell us a little bit more about the company culture of Net Credit Union and how those required attributes of that person would play into that?
Oh, sure. Like I encourage all my employees to become empowered, right? So we've stripped away a lot of the bureaucracy where they have to go through a lot of checks and balances to make, rudimentary decisions. I have some veteran employees who've been with us for over 25 years. And, when I got here, they weren't so much empowered, but I'm like, hey, you've been here for a long time. You know what the right thing to do is and the wrong thing to do is. I want you to make your decisions based upon three simple items. One, what's best for the member? Two, what's best for the employee? Three, what's best for the credit union? If you make your decisions based upon those three items, 90% of the time, you're going to make the correct decision. And just keeping it simple, the KISS philosophy, just keeping those decision-making items simple really helps empower people to do their job where they can feel rewarded. They can feel their veteran status, to be able to lead. And when you develop a group who wants to lead, then as the boss, and I don't use that term very often, you know this, Bree, but I don't have to sit there and micromanage and watch somebody. I hate micromanaging. I want people who are empowered to execute their job titles, to take care of our members, because when we take care of our members and when they're happy, guess what? They tell other people, like the Pantene commercial. They'll tell two people, and they'll come in, then they'll tell two people, and they'll come in or log in online or join online or whatever the case is. But good service spreads, right?
Absolutely. And who doesn't want to come to work and feel empowered and like they have some autonomy throughout their day? And of course, it's never any fun having a manager breathe down your shoulder, watching your every move. So that's really nice to know that that's the type of employment experience they're going to have at Net Credit Union.
Yeah, it's a culture, and we're constantly focusing on the culture. How can we adapt and adjust to the ever-changing cultural, social status that we're constantly in? Because if you don't move and adjust, then you start to become, something of the past. And our goal is to continue to meet our members' needs, whether it's a member that's been here for 40 years and just wants a CD and a savings account, to the member who just joined us at in their 20s or teens, and they just want a debit card and to learn how to start banking correctly. That we want to be able to cover those gamuts and give them the tools and the items that they need to succeed in their financial lives.
Yeah, and I love how you poised it as that the spectrum of ages. That seems like a very family oriented type mindset as well. So I'm sure that probably plays into Net Credit Union too.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we've had members that have been with us for over 50 years. I see them every once in a while. And although we've changed a lot of things, and sometimes when you change things, you get ribbed a little bit. But in the long run, people understand why. Because if the business doesn't evolve, it dies. Mm-hmm. And we try to accommodate. We try to make our changes that accommodate the majority of the members. You're never going to make 100% of people happy, but just through patient conversation and dialogue, those members can be. You can overcome those objections, and you can learn too. I like watching Kitchen Nightmares with Chef Gordon Ramsay, and he always says when he's in a restaurant, he's like, don't blow smoke up my butt about things you like. Tell me what you don't like so I can fix it. Right. And I believe in that approach. It works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's fantastic for employees to know that they have that space to come to you with those suggestions on how to improve their daily role or just even the credit union in general. And again, it goes back to that thing you said, empowerment, right? They're empowered to do their jobs to the best of their abilities day in and day out.
Yeah, I think the best thing I can do for my employees is just stay out of the way. I set them up for success. Honestly, I just stay out of the way, and I monitor the results. Right? Bring me the results, bring me what we want to see, And, this whole package that we put together should be moving forward. And knock on wood, for the last 8 years, since I'm 8 years, I'll be here 8 years this year. Last 8 years, it's done that. So seems to be a working philosophy.
Great. So this member specialist position, I know you mentioned a variety of attributes that a person would need to be successful in this type of position. Are you requiring any type of educational experience or work experience as well?
Yeah, let me check my our website here, because if I get it wrong, then Melise, she'll probably be after me. So requirements are a bachelor's degree is preferred.
Mhm.
High school diploma is accepted. 2 to 4 years of related experience, so they could have worked for a financial institution somewhere else. Understood some underwriting. We could also teach some of those. Not everybody that I bring into the credit union has had banking or credit union experience. I really want to emphasize that. They might have had some other tangible experience, which I can draw from.
Mhm.
Like, I can teach the credit union stuff, right? What I can't teach is character. They either got it or they don't. I can't teach spark. I can't teach drive. I can't, I can encourage it, but somebody's got to bring that to us. That's what we're looking for. But as far as education requirements, that's what we have. So we prefer a bachelor's degree. High school degree courses accepted, and also experience. If you have relatable or tangible experience, you'll be in consideration.
Yeah, and again, that word empowering, those requirements, those educational experience that you're looking for is also very empowering to, I bet, a lot of career seekers out there, because in today's day and age, it might not be feasible for them to go on to get some type of extended work, educational degrees. It might not be feasible for them at this time, but knowing that, like you said, if they have the character, if they show the drive, their willingness to learn, they have some of those transferable skills that you're looking for, that they shouldn't be afraid to apply to your job, knowing that they don't necessarily have the cookie cutter experience. They can still be considered.
Oh yeah, look, it never hurts to apply. The worst somebody could say is no, right?
Mhm.
Um, but when it comes to education, I fully believe in supporting that effort. That's why we provide $10,000 a year to our employees for tuition reimbursement. Got to work here for a year to qualify, and so on and so forth. But that's one of the benefits that we have at Net Credit Union. And years ago, decades ago, when I was working at Procter and Gamble, I took advantage of that. I took advantage of P&G's tuition reimbursement. I acquired my degree in accounting, and eventually ended up in credit unions, and now I'm running one. So I fully believe in educating my staff and encouraging continual education, because if you're not continually learning things, you're stagnant. I learn something new every day, and I'll probably do that till day I retire or even pass. But we're always learning something.
Right. So that's I love that you brought that up. That's a very generous tuition reimbursement benefit of working for Net Credit Union. So what other benefits do you offer to your employees?
All right, so matching 401k, of course, is one of the items that I'd offer. We match up to 5%, like a 0.5% for every percent you contribute. We have a great medical, dental, and vision plan. Our deductible is only $500 for employees, so that's something that is like a unicorn in today's climate, but healthy employees, those who get the regular checkups, the regular physicals, you can avoid a lot of different things, and I want to add, when you care about your employees, they feel empowered, like they feel like they belong. Like, I don't have anyone who comes and says, you guys don't care about us, you don't transfer information, whatever, but you care about it. That's why the medical's so strong. Vision and dental, great plans, by the way. I love them. What other benefits? We give 10 days, 10 sick days a year, which you can accrue over time. What else am I missing? Life insurance, group life insurance, additional life insurance we provide. Depending upon what your position is, we'll provide some IT equipment that you can take home, work from home. And that was a big thing last year. Like, we probably purchased 20 laptops to set up more work from home capabilities, headsets for people in the call center, the loan department. I'm probably missing a few other ones, but those are the big ones. If you have any questions, ask me.
Mhm.
I should have had a list, but I have people for that to tell me.
Hey, that's okay. It's always nice to leave a little mystery to it.
Right.
I like a good mystery. So it's clear that you invest in your members, right? And it's also clear that you invest in your employees. You talked about the importance of that continuing education. You mentioned the tuition reimbursement opportunities. So tell me a little bit more about the opportunity for advancement within your company.
That is really starting to impact our organization now. As we evolve the credit union over the last 8 years and getting us up to, what I'm going to say our current banking standards, has grown our active membership base, has grown our loan portfolio, and is starting to grow the product offerings that we have. For example, yesterday we launched our indirect lending program. It's a whole new program that we brought in the credit union. We still have future plans to delve deeper into first mortgage origination, eventually business lending, eventually bringing in wealth management or retirement planning services to the credit union. We're looking at building a new branch. We bought property in Taylor at the old Via Appia building. So there'll be opportunities for management opportunities there, as well as member expert opportunities. We're just hiring a supervisor for a call center and going to further develop personnel into the call center so that we can run a more effective call center. Since we are seeing our call volumes go up as we continue to grow, we're going to need to meet those demands. I'm considering looking at the Oak Street property, which is behind Kentucky Fried Chicken on Kaiser Avenue, and remodeling that building to create like a complete back office administrative side where we can handle all the electronic items. We're looking at bringing our credit card program in-house, which is going to require us to have a deeper concentration of credit card specialists and even eventually a card program manager. So we're at some exciting times now. We're that 8 years of inertia that the chamber has been with Net Credit Union, with me. I mean, they've been with Net Credit Union for a lot longer, but those 8 years of inertia are really starting to mount themselves now, where we can begin to branch out and further enhance or add services to the credit union. What does that mean for the job seeker? Future opportunity. We've already this year we promoted 3 people internally into management positions, and now we need to backfill underneath them as we continue to grow. So in a time when there's some socio-economical challenges, we're growing and we're hiring.
That's really great because as you talk about all of those different types of opportunities, prior to knowing you, when I credit union, the jobs in a credit union, of course you think teller, of course you think loan officer, but I never would have even thought as a job seeker that maybe I could start off in an entry-level position at Net Credit Union and work my way up to something like an IT person, using that tuition reimbursement, or a manager. There's so many different opportunities that I would never even imagine exist within a credit union.
Yeah, and you know what? Exactly right. And my life has always been about being a maverick, right? I was kind of the bull that just broke away from the pack, and had to learn my lessons as I grew. But education is one thing, and some people always leave that as bare, like, I don't have the proper education. If you have the proper qualities as a person, I get a chance to see through that when I sit and talk to people. There's more than just what's left on a piece of paper. I look for people of how I want them to respond to our members. I look for character. Character is very, very important. And it's not something that comes by accident. It comes from development over time. And when you hire people with good character, you can empower them and not have to focus and watch on them, because they're going to do the right thing. And that's ultimately what I'm looking for. People are going to do the right thing for the member, for the credit union, and for our employee base. And when you find that right group, boy, is it fun to be able just to sit back and be like the chef of a big restaurant, just watch everybody working and the pots are cooking, but I don't have to go around and taste every one. I know that product is going to come out right.
Mm-hmm. So far, I have learned just speaking with you that Net Credit Union, if I am an employee of Net Credit Union, that I know I'm going to work in a place that values integrity, investment in both employees and members. That's fun, warm, friendly. So if I'm a job seeker listening to this call, hey, I don't have any reason at this point why I don't want to work for Net Credit Union. I know that my next thought is, how do I apply and what can I expect? So where should anybody who's interested go to apply for your positions?
You can go to our website. There's several different places. Like we have a career spot on the website. Just look under About Credit Union or type in careers at Net Credit Union. There's info at Net Credit Union. I think there's another one, email link of jobs at netcreditunion.com. You could always call the credit union. We have our numbers listed and ask to be transferred to HR and ask somebody like, hey, how do I submit a resume? What do I do? Amy is our HR administrator. She's more than happy to take your calls and field your resumes. Where else? And the last ditch result on the main page of the website, there's this little thing called Clarence Cares where anybody can email me. You can always contact me and see if you can get pointed in the right direction. I'll direct the email to HR. So many different ways to contact the credit union. Yeah, I guess that answered that question. I can't think of another one.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so all of those different touch points to apply, they can just simply Google careers at Net Credit Union. They can go onto your website, find that Clarence Care section. They can call and ask for Amy in HR. So after their application is submitted, what is the interview process like? Is it virtual now? Is it over the phone? Is it in person?
Typically, the first one is done over the phone. A phone interview really helps us understand, how can somebody talk on the telephone? Are they good or are they bad? And it's just like really the first way. And then depending upon the position, there could be a second or third interview. Typically, they're done in person. I do believe in meeting somebody face to face if their job is going to, I believe in meeting somebody face to face, even if it's 6 feet away with a mask on, I don't care. But I do believe in meeting somebody face to face to see, how do they meet somebody in a personal space? Because in this job, especially the job that we're looking for, you're going to meet with members. So I want to know how you act. And, we'll conduct the interview on that basis. Depending upon how many applicants, there could be a third interview where we narrow the field down and so forth. So, but it all depends on, what we field.
Mm-hmm. Right, of course. So you mentioned meeting somebody face to face, 6 feet apart, mask on. I know that's always the elephant in the room nowadays is the COVID-19 pandemic. And a lot of individuals might feel apprehensive about coming to work or feeling safe at work because, they just cannot afford to get sick. They cannot afford to get sick and possibly bring it home to somebody that they're living with or taking care of at home. So what has Net Credit Union done to keep all of their employees safe?
There's a list. I mean, going back throughout the year, when this pandemic first hit, we split our teams into 2 separate teams, kind of like the blue and the gold team of ballistic missile submarines. One team went into work, one team stayed home. We split it right down the middle for both branches so that if one team got sick or if somebody on that team got sick, the other team can come in and fill in until those issues cleared. And they alternated every week. So 1 week, one team was working, the other week, the same week, the other team was home. And we paid our employees. We paid them to stay home and stay healthy until we got further clarification of what the beginning of the pandemic, everybody was just totally scared. And I have to admit it, I was the same way. I'm like, I don't know what this thing's going to do, but we got to take precaution now. And we put our employees and our members' health and safety first. We also, like I identified before, we identified several positions that we can create work from home situations for and allow them to work from home. Social distancing, we have put up plexiglass barriers, especially around the teller area, and we do require people to wear a mask. And we also encourage people that if you come into contact with somebody who may have been infected or had the virus, or you think you have, please let us know. We're not going to penalize you for it, but we want to keep everybody protected. And of course, abiding by, all the CARES Act items. We have had people who had tested positive, not inside the credit union, but outside, and we paid them the CARES Act program for them to stay home. And if they needed to take vacation or personal time to augment the days off. We do a deep clean throughout the credit union once a month. We have rotating shifts right now of different employees who clean daily in the credit union. So anytime you walk in, it kind of smells like a hospital because there's bleach being applied. I can't tell you how much hand sanitizer, how many masks we've purchased, but we have also handed out customized masks to our employees. So you'll see me walking around like this, my little net label on it. And we've also handled individual cases on a case by case basis with the understanding that this is no joke that we're dealing with. I mean, I've had friends who've had it and were hospitalized. So we take the utmost care. We actually put together a COVID-19 response team. I actually have one of the ladies on the team walks around with a tape measure that's 6 feet apart. It's kind of like the 8th grade dance. She's like, you need to be, further apart, and it sounds kind of funny, but then again, it's like reinforcing, the need to be diligent until this terrible thing is over. So we took it very seriously, even closing branches for a couple of months while, when case counts swooned. Matter of fact, we were closed from the day after Thanksgiving last year and actually reopened our doors March 1st and just worked through the drive-through. And, the credit union is still continuing to grow. I mean, our drive-through lines got a little bit longer, but the adoption of our technology really took hold there as well, and we were able to assist members. So we made lemonade out of some of the lemons that we were dealt.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's also part of just who Net Credit Union is, right? You take something very seriously, but you add that little element of humor or, like you said, a little bit of lemonade to your lemons there. That's great.
Yeah. Again, it's just doing the right thing. What's right for the credit union, what's right for the employee, what's right for the member.
Of course. So before we wrap this up, I have to ask, why should a job seeker choose to work for Net Credit Union? What is something unique about working for your company that might be, that cherry on top that really gets them to say, hey, I'm going to apply for this job at Net Credit Union?
Simply because we're awesome.
Yeah, you are awesome, Clarence.
We're still considered a small business. We're under 50 employees currently. When you work for a small business, there's more of an atmosphere. Then I've worked for Fortune 500 companies before, and not that there's anything wrong with them, but those environments you kind of get lost in a shuffle. And growing with a small business, there's always something new and exciting that's coming on. We're swifter to act, and actually at the size that we're at right now, we're doing a number of projects to set us up to grow, so that when we do get bigger, we've already accomplished some of those challenges that you go through with growth pains. So, it becomes a fun and exciting place to work. It doesn't mean that we do things, and I might be kind of a jokester. When it comes to numbers and financials, we are sound, and we receive good ratings from all of our audits that we have. We have a good internal audit structure, definitely a sound business to be in, plenty of capital to work with, and an approach that I've been in credit unions for 15 years, and I didn't start out in credit unions. I just ended up here, and I'm telling you, I won't look anywhere else. It's a great environment to be in, and it's what we make of it. It's what you, as a job seeker, makes of it. You want an opportunity to grow. You want an opportunity to learn something. I support that. Because if you don't support your employees, if you don't take care of your employees, they don't take care of the members. And when you don't take care of the members, they tell other people. And good news travels okay. Bad news travels really fast. We want the good news to travel. If it takes time, it takes time. But you take care of your employees, they take care of the members. It sounds simple, but some larger places kind of lose sight of that. They just focus on the bottom line.
Mhm.
Focus on your employees, focus on your members. The bottom line will take care of itself.
Right. Right. That answer could not have been more perfect and in line with everything that we talked about today. Net is just awesome. It's an awesome place to work. Simple, fun, full of integrity, giving back, philanthropy, investment in you as an employee, investment in members. You're going to wake up, come to work, and love what you do every day.
Yeah, every day. And it's, like I said, it's been 15 years in this industry, and I don't wake up saying like, I don't want to go to work. It's like, hey, what are we going to do today? What are we going to find today? And, knock on wood, surrounding, I like to surround myself with people that are smarter than me. Because at the end of this whole thing, they make the whole place look good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody knows something that you don't, and it's great when you have the ability to express that, and your employer really trusts your skills, your abilities, the knowledge that you have, and recognizes that there's something unique about you that you bring to the table that nobody else does.
Yeah, and I'll admit it, as the president CEO, sometimes I'll say like, yeah, I don't know, let's find out. Instead of, hey, why not? If you don't know, don't BS.
Right.
Somebody can get turned off if you give them a line of malarkey. No malarkey.
Yes, no malarkey zone at Net Credit Union. So, Clarence, is there anything else you'd like to tell job seekers or any potential candidates watching?
Yeah, if you think you want to become a part of this team, we have 2 positions open right now for member expert. I definitely would prefer somebody with who understands the lending process, who understands how to talk to people, how to listen to people, which is even more important. Who's energetic. Looking for smart people. Like I said, I like to surround myself with smart people. Of course, everybody wants to work with a place that has an open door policy, but I'm looking for somebody who wants to embody that. I want to help people out. I want to help people, improve their financial lives, and that's something we've done here, for the past several years, is really focus on helping people improve their financial lives. I'm looking for good character. I'm looking for good work ethic, and I'm looking for people who, want to become part of a kind of a social team that we have here. And I'm going to tell you, we're busy. So, if you're afraid of work, don't apply, because we're busy and we got projects and we got, neat things going on. Yeah, if you want to try us and see how it is, don't apply. I'm looking for those people who really want a career, not just a job. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Yeah. Huzzah. Awesome. Looking for those determined go-getters out there. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to listen in on this conversation with Clarence and I. I hope you all really enjoyed it. Clarence, again, thank you so much for taking this time out of your day to be here and tell everybody about Net and this awesome little hidden gem on the corner of Mulberry there. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, everybody, and enjoy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you, Bree, and thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Have a great one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.